Good morning, friends. Welcome back to that 1870s homestead. My name's Rachel, and today we are back in the kitchen. I've been, I think, living in this kitchen for weeks on end, baking all the things, and so many of you asked me to share with you guys the recipes, and a lot of times I just don't have the time to break out the camera. I'm rushing, I'm going fast, but today is a quiet day. Todd's left the house, he's gone disc golfing, and I thought I would share with you a really basic one that I think that you could do at home. That is, if you are have joined me on the Amish friendship bread starter process. What would we do this like 2 Novembers ago now? And mine is super active, bubbly. I restarted it, I don't know, in early May maybe, and it's just been going and happy and doing its thing. So we're going to make a zucchini bread, and we're going to be using fresh zucchini from the garden as well as some of our canned mock pineapple zucchini. So I'm going to get all my ingredients together and I'll come back and we'll get to mixing it up and make it together. Okay, I think I'm all set. I think I have everything I need except the shredded zucchini. I'll do that in a minute. So to start off with, I took a little clip here to show you how active my Amish starter is. It's really, really bubbly. I would say that you don't have to have a super bubbly starter for a recipe like this, but I would assume that the baking soda baking powder ratio assumes you're working with an active starter. Otherwise, it may not rise as much. So I have used discard to make all my sweetbreads. So you don't have to have that really activeness. But if you're going to do like a sourdough and where you're solely depending on that for the yeast, you know, you would want it to be really active. And I just got into practicing with sourdoughs, and people see the pictures and they asked me to do a video. I am not an expert. I'll show you this morning's. It didn't work out. I mean, it's a beautiful loaf of bread, but my belly spread way too much and I didn't get that really nice dog ear. It's still hot. It just came out of the oven. But that is completely done with the Amish starter too, and it's a long process. So once I really, really learn it and teach it myself, I'll be glad to share. But some things I'm learning along with you guys, so there's much more professionals on YouTube to learn from around certain topics. Okay, so a cup of our starter, and we're gonna put in some oil, some milk, some sugar, some eggs, some vanilla, and that'll make up like the base of our wet ingredients. And this will make 2 like 8x4 loaves. Alrighty, a cup of oil. Use your oil of your preference. We have avocado oil in this house and olive oil, but I wouldn't want olive oil in my sweetbread. Alrighty, and then a half a cup of milk is going in next. 3 eggs. We actually had to go down to our little neighbor kids set up a little farm stand down the road selling their eggs, and we had to go down and buy their eggs from them last night. Our girls, I don't know what's up, but I'm lucky if I get 2 eggs a day right now. I don't know if they're getting ready for molting or what's going on there. Alrighty. 3 eggs and then a cup of sugar. Let me wash my hands. Alrighty, and 1 cup of sugar. So there is a website that I use to get a lot of my inspiration for my Amish friendship bread starter recipes. and it's called the Amish Friendship Bread Kitchen. And they have lots of their own recipes as well as viewer submitted, or I don't know, member submitted recipes. And sometimes I read them and then I kind of judge based off my experience and might just use the recipe as inspiration. But like yesterday, we made a zucchini carrot cake bread and it had the mock pineapple in it, and I made a pineapple glaze with the zucchini pineapple. It was so good. I assume it was so good. It smelled so good because it went to the farm stand. Alrighty, and then half a teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm just going to do a dash, but if you want to measure, you can measure. That was probably more like a teaspoon. We're going to whisk all that together. And what else have we done with zucchini this season? So we've done zucchini lemon preserves. We have made our zucchini bread jam. We have made zucchini relish. And a lot of these things I have videos on already on YouTube. We have a whole zucchini playlist of all the things you can make with zucchini. We've grilled zucchini, the zucchini carrot cake bread. I think I did a zucchini blueberry lemon loaf. A zucchini peach jam banana bread. Talk about decadent. It was basically a zucchini banana bread, and then in the center you put a layer of peach jam and then swirl it through it. Oh, whoever got that one got lucky, because that looked divine. All right, that's mixed together good enough. Let's go in with our dry ingredients now. And we're gonna need 2 cups of flour. And yes, I use liquid measuring cups the same as dry measuring cups. I know it's not perfect, but it's close enough. Whoops. I don't like dirtying extra dishes if I don't have to. So 2 cups of flour, and we need, it calls for a box of instant vanilla pudding mix. We make our own pudding mix. I have bought it in the past if I find a deal like at the Amish discount store, but I like the ingredients better when you make it yourself. You have control over it. And I did not need that much. We only need a half a cup. A half a cup of your own pudding mix equals 1 box. And all these, that pudding mix recipe is in the Amish Friendship Bread Kitchen. And I've used it, have adapted using it in my cinnamon roll recipe. It just makes for a really, really moist bread. Okay, and then we're going to go in with our baking powder. And we need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And how much soda? A half a teaspoon of baking soda. And cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. So I'm giving you guys examples how I'm adapting this recipe. The recipe only calls for cinnamon, 2 teaspoons. I'm gonna go in with a tablespoon because I like it more cinnamony. And then I also like adding nutmeg to my zucchini bread. So I'm gonna go in with about a half a teaspoon of freshly grated nutmeg. And then a half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, and similarly, we're gonna whisk those things together real quick, and then we're gonna add our wet ingredients to our dry ingredients, and then I'm gonna step away from the camera, grate up our zucchini, and that's where I'm gonna talk to you about all the mix-ins that you can do, the additions. So this recipe I'm working with calls for zucchini, chocolate chips, and walnuts, but we're doing zucchini and mock pineapple zucchini. Oh, I got an eggshell in there. Just saw it. Don't go away. There are endless zucchini bread recipes. Then similarly, there are endless Amish friendship bread recipes. Oh, one of the ones I forgot to mention was last weekend's. We made blueberry fritters. That was delicious. That was one you had to start the night before with making like a shag dough, and then in the morning you finish mixing it and letting it rest and rise a little bit, and then fry them in lard. So good. I did eat one of those. That was too good, and I was too impressed with myself. I looked at them and I was like, I can't believe I just did that. I have to eat one. All right, so we just mixed it till combined. Let me show you the texture real quick. So it's kind of like really super thick pancake batter. And now I'm gonna go grate up 1 cup of zucchini. All right, I'm gonna move you guys in a little bit closer for this part. So this is a little tiny bit over 1 cup, but it was 1 small zucchini. So a small zucchini, if you picture the end of the zucchini is about that big around, and perfect for just a 1 little small batch recipe like this. But if you have a great big huge zucchini and you're going to grate it up, I do recommend removing those big seeds. Now I have cooked with them, but just take the time and take them out, and then when you're left with a lot of extra, you can just freeze it in like 2-cup portions. So the average zucchini bread recipe is about 2 cups. And then this is our leftover mock pineapple. There's a little bit of juice in there, so I'm going to be careful not to get that. And all I did with this was, let me scoop some out and show you. All I did with this was, it was done in, I canned it in chunks, like you would get pineapple chunks in the store, and I threw it in my little food processor. I'm probably gonna put a 1/2 cup of this in there. But it tastes just like pineapple because it was canned in pineapple juice, and you do add some sugar to it. So we're just gonna fold in this zucchini and pineapple into the dough, and then we'll spoon it into our prepared baking pans, and I'm using 2 8x4 baking pans. I think that's good. All right, and I kind of just eyeball it for equal parts. And these pans were just oiled. And I have found that most recipes, if it's not my own, I will start the timer at their recommended time, but I tend to, on my oven, have to go an additional 10 minutes or so. So just think of that as guidance on timing whenever it comes to baking really anything, because everyone's oven behaves just a little differently, holds constant temperature differently. Like mine right now, I can't get it to preheat above 415. So that could be a reason that my sourdough didn't turn out too, because I couldn't get that high heat. All right, just about got it all in. I don't leave a drop. Okay. Now we're gonna bake this for, I think, 60 minutes. 60 minutes at 325. I'm gonna put them in right now. And then I may have to go 70 minutes. But what you're looking for is basically two things. You could stick, you know, a toothpick in the middle and it's going to come out clean. But what I look for is that the bread is just slightly started to pull away from the edges. And when I tap on the loaf, I can tell it's firm. It's not overly moist or jiggly. So I will see you guys back when it's done. But I know I recently had a video of somebody saying, could you show us how you use the pineapple zucchini? So this is one way. When I made the glaze, I did powdered sugar, like 2 cups of powdered sugar, maybe a quarter cup of the, maybe not quite that much. Anyway, some of the pineapple juice from the pineapple, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, and then a bunch of the chunks that I had processed in the food processor. And it made just for a really pretty glaze. We've made sweet and sour chicken with it, sweet and sour shrimp. So I always recommend can what you eat. So if you eat pineapple, you obviously know how you use pineapple and how you eat it. So there's nothing that zucchini pineapple won't work with that regarding substituting for regular pineapple. Pineapple upside down cake, whatever you want to make, you can make with zucchini pineapple. So I will see you guys when this bread comes out. We're gonna have to let it cool. It'll probably go out to the farm stand around lunch, and then I will see you guys on the next video. So thanks for coming with me this morning, and I'll talk to you guys soon. I wish you guys could smell it, but here we go. 2 delicious zucchini breads. I think I'll put one out as a loaf, and then the other I'll do zucchini bread by the slice at the farm stand, because not everyone wants an entire loaf. So sometimes by the slice is more appropriate for the customer. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.